This is something that I'm really excited about, and it's the reason why I haven't done a review on my Arma Vortex yet, because I didn't have the ability to actually check its speed. So I bit the bullet today and I bought this. It's from Horizon Hobby. It's the Dynamite Passport GPS Speed Meter 2.0. So let's take a look at it real quick. First, you're going to see this really big instruction manual. In fact, it's really big. I feel like it's a map from, back in the old days, we had to stop at the convenience store when we went into a new town and get a map. A lot of you guys know exactly what I'm talking about, because we didn't have GPS and phones. So we would go to the convenience store when we went into a town and we'd pick up a map of that city. That's how this feels. It's big. But quick read on it. Here's the English side over here. Looks like they got German and French and whatever else there is. But it talks about some of the specifications, and one of the really good things about this is it is a GPS, and it has a 10 hertz or 10 times per second update rate. So it'll do 1 to 10 hertz. I think that's probably a setting that you can put in there, is my guess, and that would help determine longevity or battery life. So if I was crawling, I probably wouldn't need a fast update rate, but if I wanted to do some speed tests, I would probably want to do the faster update rate. I'd go for 10 hertz. So it has a built-in antenna, and it weighs 45 grams, 1.45 ounces. Well, let's see if that's true. 1.45 ounces. It says 1.6 ounces is what my scale says. Don't know if it's right or wrong. I think this thing's accurate. We use it to mail stuff off all the time. So, there we go. Let's see here. Got different modes built in, and you can select, and there's current speed. It shows you latitude and longitude, which is kind of a coordinate system. So latitude is your northern or south, and then your longitude is your east and west. So I would be at like 32 north and 117 west right here, but we'll turn it on and see what it says. It shows you peak speed, it shows you trip, it shows you an average speed, it shows you altitude, it shows you time, so that would be GPS time, so it would be right on the money, and it shows peak altitude. So if I was going to put it on an airplane, I could see my peak altitude. But also, if I'm going to go to Colorado up in the mountains, I can see what my altitude is, so that's pretty cool. I believe it'll also data log it all, so you can go back and look at where you were on the map, and to show other people exactly where you were. So that'll be great for crawling, because as I'm finding new places, if I like them, I'll show people where it was and even show them the route that I took. So that's exciting. That's really cool. I'm also excited to do the top speed. Like I said, I haven't done my Arma Vortex review yet because of that, but now that I can show top speed, I'm gonna do my whole entire review for that and start showing videos on it. So that's pretty cool. All right, well, let's look at it. Put this map over here, and we will give it some power. And it's got a little power button right here on the bottom. So I think I just press that. And there it goes. Don't know what it says. Nothing yet. It shows time, but it hasn't found any satellites as of yet. So it probably takes it a few seconds to acquire satellites. So we'll give it a minute. While it's doing that, I think it's showing 7.000, which doesn't make sense yet. Here is a USB to micro USB connector for charging it, and probably putting data from this when it logs it to your laptop or whatever it is you're using it. They say you can also put it on Google Maps so that you can map it everywhere that you've been. So that's pretty cool. Okay, so we still don't have a lat long as of yet, but we'll go to, there we go. There's a miles per hour, top miles per hour. That's my altitude. I'm at 282 feet above sea level, which is probably right. Actually, it says 278 above sea level. 275. It'll probably bounce around a little bit, but that's okay. 272. As it gets more satellites, it'll be more accurate. This is the peak altitude, and it says 308. So it's probably doing that as it was acquiring the satellites. Here we have probably my trip meter, so that's your how many miles you've gone. And here we go. So we are at 117.241 west, and we are at 32.7375 north. So it does degrees decimal seconds is what that means, and it does it to the 10,000th. So that's probably within a couple of feet. So it's pretty cool. And then whenever I want to start to record data, I just hit this other button here, go from mode to enter, and it says record. So now it's recording and plotting basically everywhere that I'm gonna go, which we're not going anywhere yet, but it's dark outside. And then I just stopped recording. So there we have it. That's what this thing does. It's just a little GPS, really light. Put some Velcro on it and on your car. When I'm crawling, I'm gonna put it under the body and go for low center of gravity. And that way we can maybe even improve our climbing while we're going, even though it's gonna be sprung weight, not unsprung weight. So there it is, the Horizon Hobby Dynamite Passport GPS Speed Meter 2.0. Okay, let's do something special. We're gonna put it on the camera car. We face the GoPro backwards, and we're gonna get real-time action and real-time speed. Let's see how it works. Okay, we've recorded the data. Now let's take a good look at it. This is the GNSS logger that they say to download in the instruction manual. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the read data. And while I say that and it's loading, if you watch up on the top right, you're going to see that you have to fumble with this GPS unit to get it to connect through the software. It can take 5 minutes for it to connect, which can be very frustrating. You're turning it off and on and plugging it in and plugging it out. And I've restarted the computer, and I don't know what it takes exactly, but if you hold your head in the right direction and the moon and stars align, it will connect. So while it's loading, also let me just say one thing about the interface. It's not that good. It could definitely be a lot better. You would think that Horizon Hobby and Dynamite would build a much better software package, but it was an afterthought to them, I think, and it's like they just didn't care about it. So, but let's take a look at it. So there's the run that I did. I clicked on it, and there's me going up and down the alley. You can see the back of my house where it started and ended. And guess what? I don't live there anymore, so it doesn't matter. There's my start and stop time, peak altitude. There's my peak speed, 32.72 miles an hour. The frequency was 10 hertz, so it collected the data 10 times per second from GPS, and it did a distance of 0.62. I can change my view. There's a satellite image called aerial. I can change it to bird's eye, which is still just a satellite image at an angle and tilt it over to make it look kind of cool. Then I can go to street side, and really this is just using Google Maps to do stuff, but I can place myself or my view somewhere on my path, and I can look around. Look at that. It's a older 300 looking ZX, which would be Nissan. I think prior to 1981, that would have been a Datsun. A little more zoom in and just take a quick look at it. So that's not bad, and then down here you can see speed, altitude, time, longitude, and latitude. That was probably the time of that entire, or I think that's the time where that blue dot is up on the map. So that's probably what that is. It's that position and time. Now I want to change this frequency of the GPS. I just wanted to collect data 1 time per second from the satellites. And I'm going to go down and, go to configure. And we'll change the update rate to 1 hertz. What's this? GNSS logger quit unexpectedly. All right, let's reopen that. Okay. GPS logger quit unexpectedly. Hold on a second. I did download 2 software packages, one being the GNS logger and GPS logger, 2 separate ones. So let's turn on the GPS logger. But look at this GNS logger. It has the Sky RC symbol on it, or logo. That's really weird there. It's connected still. Now let's try to go back to configure. And, look at this. Save project. Oh, that's good quality control. That was for GNS logger or GPS logger. Look, GNSS logger has save project too. What's going on here? All right, let's try to configure it through GPS logger. Nope, it doesn't work for either of them. There is the problem. Bad software. Very, very disappointing. Okay, so my overall impression of the Horizon Hobby Dynamite Passport GPS Speed Meter 2.0 or 2.0, that's a lot to say, is, well, I like the hardware. I love the size of it. It's low weight, 1.5 ounces, and it looks like it's waterproof or water resistant and relatively durable. So those are good things. It's probably durable enough that I can easily mount it anywhere in or on an RC car and not have to worry about it. I mean, it could get some surface scratches, but it probably won't break unless I put it on the front of the bumper and ran it into a curb or something. So those are good things. One thing that would be really good, this is to you, Dynamite and Horizon Hobby, is to, on the interface, give me the ability to change my update rate or the hertz from 1 to 10 or 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 or 9 or whatever it is. I want to be able to change those update rates from here. I don't want to have to go to a computer to change that. So do a new firmware update 1.03, because right now you're at 1.02, and put that functionality right here. I know you can do it. You have young guys that could probably knock it out in 2 days. So please get that done. As far as the software goes, I am definitely not impressed with the Passport GPS Speedmeter 2.0. I think that the software is highly lacking and it's very, very disappointing. There are certain things about it. One is on a Apple, when I try to connect to this and I try to do the configure to change from 1 to 10 hertz, it crashes every time. I cannot configure this with an Apple machine. I tried it with 2 different laptops using 3 different operating systems, and it did not work. And that was including the latest and the 2 previous versions of their operating system. So it doesn't work for an Apple. I do not recommend this product with an Apple. If you're only using an Apple right now, I have to borrow somebody's Windows machine because I don't have a Windows product, and I have to borrow their laptop so that I can configure this, and I want to be able to just do it quickly. So that doesn't make sense to me. Another thing on the software is they didn't do any quality control on it. They didn't do any real testing, I don't think, because there are things misspelled, and one of them is supposed to say project, it says project, and what I say to that is poor quality control. Another is on the map, their lat and long were reversed. What should have been lat was long, and what should have been long was lat. So if I was looking at that and just relying on the bottom of the screen for location, I would know that, or think that it was on the other side of the world because those were reversed. So that needs to get fixed. There's just a lot of things that they just kind of did the interface as an afterthought, and they didn't seem to really care about it, or they just thought, oh, the people won't care, all they want is max speed. That's not true. I want to be able to log all of my data. Also, I need to be able to clear these logs from this thing, so that would be great to have that function as well. I don't want to have to read all of the logs every time I do a read on it because that takes too much time. I want to just be able to delete each log or say delete all. That would be great. But so I don't recommend this product for an Apple user. I think for a Windows user, it's probably fine. So please get that fixed, and I will recommend it. In the meantime, all of you Apple users, I would say try this Sky RC GPS unit that does have Bluetooth, which is more convenient than this. I think this would be a great product otherwise. If it, I don't think that it necessarily needs Bluetooth. I would probably put out the next version with a Bluetooth. The 3.0 would probably have Bluetooth in there as well though. But battery life seems pretty good, and quality of this is good, just software, not good. Anyway, I look forward to trying it out on this bad boy. Look forward to trying it out on this bad boy. I think that I'll be able to get some good top speed readings at a 10 hertz rate, mind you, that I'm going to have to borrow somebody's computer to do. But all in all, I'm looking forward to it. So we'll see, with future reviews, what kind of high speeds we can get. So we'll talk to you later. Have a good day, and happy crawling or bashing and RCing. Cheers.